Hello YouTube. So I'm going to make a very easy guess that you probably clicked on this video expecting exactly what I'm going to give you, an explanation as to what Bitcoin is, and I'm sure you've heard about it from friends, from coworkers, on the news, whatever. You're not exactly sure what it is, how it works, and I'm hoping that this video will help you ease you into the world that is Bitcoin. So as I've mentioned, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and what that means is, well, obviously there's two parts to the word, crypto and currency. Currency makes a lot of sense to a lot of the people. It's, like money, what we use to buy and sell things. There's, United States dollars, Canadian dollars, euros in Europe, and um, hundreds of currencies throughout the world that can be traded at different values to each other. Bitcoin is a currency, so it is used to buy and sell things. There's transactions that go between people, like when you go to the store, make a transaction, you give the cashier cash for your food or clothes or whatever you're buying, and you walk out. Bitcoin works a very similar way. The interesting thing about Bitcoin that is a little tougher to wrap people's head around is that it's not a physical object. There's no dollar bills, there's no coins, there is nothing physically there. There's no gold or silver, no material to show a Bitcoin. And the reason it's called a cryptocurrency is because it is a digital currency, as I mentioned. So it's not a physical material. Now, if you do go searching on the internet for Bitcoin, you might end up on bitcoin.org, in which you click on it and it tells you Bitcoin's an innovative payment network, new kinds of money, fast transactions worldwide, low processing fees. Sounds great. There's not a huge explanation as to what it is or how it works. So, goodbye. There's no central command. Bitcoin isn't owned by anybody. Think of it like email. That's an interesting way to put it. The transactions are reversible, so once you send money from point A to point B, that's it. The interesting thing is there's no, credit card or cash like with, cash dollars. There's always a central bank. For the United States dollar, there is a federally funded bank that is run by America to give the dollar actual value. Back in the day, it used to be valued by gold. Bricks and bars of gold were used to value the dollars. I don't believe they do that anymore. I haven't actually looked it up. But every person that would like to use Bitcoin gets a Bitcoin wallet. So again, just because it does say wallet, it is not a physical wallet that you put in your pocket and carry around. Again, it's digital. So you have a wallet, it carries your Bitcoin. You can take Bitcoin out of your wallet and give it to another wallet. Each wallet has its own address, just like email would. And Bitcoin price, just like the dollar might get stronger in the United States and the pound in England might get weaker. They they change prices, so sometimes one will trade for the other for more or for less, and it goes on. Bitcoin exchanges, you can exchange money for Bitcoin just like you can exchange dollars for pounds or euros, whatever it may be. And it's not completely anonymous. Now, this is the big deal that happened when Bitcoin was just starting out. Bitcoin was used by a lot of criminals buying guns, drugs, etc. Um, and that's where Bitcoin really got a rather bad reputation to start. However, although the transactions are kind of hidden by the wallets, one wallet sends money to another wallet, no one, knows who the owner of the wallet is. It's not completely anonymous, and as it mentions here, tax regulators might look into it. I know for a fact that the FBI does deep research into wallets and who does own certain wallets if they are making certain transactions and they need to delve into that information. But the cool thing about Bitcoin is, as it mentions here, with unconfirmed transactions, transactions need to be confirmed. You can't just send it from one wallet to another. There has to be a confirmation that those Bitcoins were actually sent. And if you go to blockchain.info, you can actually see the blockchain, which is like a ledger written down with all the transactions going on with Bitcoin. So you can see, 6 minutes ago there was this many transactions, this much sent. If we go to see more, you can see the hashes. So dollars sent from here to there, this many dollars sent from there to there, or Bitcoin, and it's all there for the public to see. The only thing is that the information doesn't say Bob sent $50 to Alan. It says wallet blah 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 blah, that wallet's address sent this many Bitcoin to blah blah blah's address. And lastly, I'd like to show you the Wikipedia explanation of Bitcoin, saying it is a worldwide cryptocurrency and digital payment system. It was invented by an unknown group of programmers, Satoshi Nakamoto, released in 2009. It's peer-to-peer, so transactions go straight from one person to the next with no intermediary in between, and the transactions are verified by network nodes recorded in a public ledger called a blockchain, as I mentioned. The interesting thing about Bitcoin is that there is a set number of Bitcoin to be released by whenever they're done mining them. I believe it's 21 million Bitcoin. Yeah, 21 million Bitcoins will have been issued. So there's 21 million Bitcoins out there, so to speak, but miners, which I'll explain later, are still discovering the Bitcoin. So, imagine gold is in the earth and people have just found it and they're using it to, buy and sell shirts with a speck of gold. Those people that are going mining, finding more and more gold every day, are Bitcoin miners when it comes to Bitcoin. And the way Bitcoin mining works, because obviously they're not going in with axes into the dirt, so miners are actually computer hardware that are kind of doing like a crazy mathematical puzzle in which the transactions that have been made and taken place on the blockchain are turned into that, so to speak, puzzle for the computers, and they go through and while verifying transactions that are occurring, they're also figuring out whether or not everything is verified correctly. So say one miner goes through a piece of the blockchain and decides these transactions are set up properly, the proper amount of Bitcoin was sent. The other miners groups will look over it, make sure it was done correctly, and if it was and it's properly verified, that miner gets paid for his work. So the more hardware that's allowed to mine at a time can obviously discover and get quote unquote paid more Bitcoin. And the more mining power that an individual has, the more Bitcoin they can get per second, per minute, per day. And a lot of people are actually investing into Bitcoin mining, in which they are putting together computer rigs, sometimes using high-end, gaming computers, sometimes building rigs specifically designed for Bitcoin mining, in which they leave the computer on all day, all night, mining Bitcoin. And while they do have to pay for electricity and the wear and usage of their hardware, they are getting Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has changed a lot in price over the years since it was released in 2009. Someone had once told me that if you had invested $1 into Bitcoin in the day it was released, that you would have something like $360,000 today. But I do know that it has been growing year by year, and it has never been as high as it has been in the last few months. So let me close out of this. Now, people have asked me, well, if these guys decided to make a cryptocurrency so that they could make transactions on the internet without a bank being in between, why haven't other people done it? Well, they have. There is Bitcoin, and it is at a market cap of $45 billion, and the current price is 2,733 US dollars for one Bitcoin. And it is actually down 5.5% since yesterday. So if you look at some of the other cryptocurrencies that are out there, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin. Litecoin was very popular a few years ago because it was easier to mine than Bitcoin. The difficulty of Bitcoin, since more and more of it is being found, the fight for it and competition for it has grown higher, so the difficulty has increased. The hardware needs to work harder, so people are investing into stronger hardware to mine Bitcoin. That's the struggle there. Litecoin was a nice save because the price of Litecoin was increasing, and a year ago I believe Litecoin was less than $5 a piece, and now it's at almost $43. And Ethereum Classic, Dash, Monero, there's tons of them. You can come to coinmarketcap.com and check it all out yourself. But the main dominance is Bitcoin, and that is simply because of its huge popularity, growing acceptance. I mean, Overstock.com, I don't know, for those of you that do use this website, they currently accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. Here we are. And Bitcoin, temporarily unavailable, but it does exist as an option, and Overstock is a rather popular company. It's growing in popularity. Just about everyone has heard of it. If they don't understand what it is, send them over to my YouTube video. It's for a quick explanation as to what it is, how it works. And lastly, I want to thank all of you for watching this video. I hope it did help. I'm sorry it did take a little while, but I wanted to make sure I got all the bases covered, that you get a general understanding of what Bitcoin is. And again, I hope you do like the video. I hope you like and subscribe. There will be more content coming about how to make some money using Bitcoin.